everybody, and welcome to LOTSO, aka Legend of the Stoned Owl, but we like to call it LOTSO. My name is Chris.
My name is Ryan.
I'm Justin.
Hey guys! So, Alan is out on vacation down at Vegas.
Yeah.
Having a good time.
Probably.
Crabbing. And so, very kindly, Ryan from Northwest Goofballs is filling in. Also an avid gamer, and we're going to be talking an awful lot about New Vegas and also some Fable 3, which you have completed both of, correct?
Yep, I beat those.
Yeah, there's something called Ryaning a game, and when you Ryan a game, it's when you play through it in about 2 days.
Yeah.
Is that just like caffeine or what?
I got nothing else to do.
You just got like an adrenaline about it?
I just like eat the game. I just sit there and eat the whole thing from one end to end.
Yeah, he doesn't sit there and play like games for his whole entire life, but when he gets a game with the story in it, it's dead in days.
That is true. It'll kill me. I'll still put in the full 100 hours on it. And I'm not like breezing through on the storyline or whatever. I don't do it every day or whatever. I don't do it to 100 games a year, but when I do get a hold of one, like Vegas came out, that game was good, so I had to chew that game up. Took about a week.
I like the dedication, man. I wish I could do that.
Yeah,
I think that's my hesitation.
Like a marathon runner, but I need a break when I'm done. Fable and Fallout coming out at the same time, that kind of sucks. It's like,
was that rough?
Yeah, I still got brain damage from the first game. I got to dive right into the second one.
You're like, man, my thumbs are starting to hurt.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
All right. Well, okay. So your experience will pay off tonight because we'll get into that in a little bit. But first, let's get into the LOTSO news. And that awesome music means it is the LOTSO news segment. And gentlemen, I thought, we haven't given the PlayStation 3 any good discussion lately, so why don't we kick off our first news story in this episode about a new PlayStation game. It's a spin-off of Little Big Planet, and it's going to be called Sackboy's Prehistoric Movies. And what's really kind of neat about it is I think it's going to be landing in December. It's going to be a downloadable on the PlayStation 3. Well, here's the catch. Multiplayer only, requires the Move controller. Oh, I'm sorry. Prehistoric Moves, not movie. And it's also a 5-player co-op. Sounds kind of cool, right?
I don't know. I don't like it. It just seems silly to have the Move controller connected in there.
Well, it looks like, for building and stuff, you're going to be able to draw where you want blocks to go and things like that.
Oh, okay, because the way I was reading it just sounds like you're pressing buttons for people as they go through the map.
Well, you're controlling the guy on the screen, yeah.
I don't know. I'm not into the Little Big Planet thing as is.
No?
No, I really like the way it looks.
It's interesting, though, because you seem to enjoy the building elements of Minecraft, and there's a lot of some of that shared building of a world, customizing, and things like that in Little Big Planet.
I've never been down in 2D either. Not the 2D, but the side scroll. I've never been down with that.
I love it.
I liked it back in the day, but it just...
I still love it.
No, I can't. I'm not a retro guy. I don't care about that shit anymore. Things have gotten better.
Yeah, there's a reason the new stuff is better.
Well, you're not even going to check it out?
No. Well, if they say it might be free, and, well, no, I won't check it out because I ain't got no Move.
Oh, you're not going to get the Move?
I'll never buy one.
Never?
Never.
Come on, dude. You said the same thing about the PlayStation 3, and now you have one.
I never actually bought that. It was a gift.
All right.
So would you never ask for the Move then, as a gift?
I don't know. It depends. It's gonna have to be more interesting.
Well, if you already have the Kinect, would you want Kinect over Move or Move over Kinect?
Oh, Kinect.
I'm going with Kinect because.
Well, if you already have that on your TV, then why go bother buying a Move?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, everything does everything differently, and I don't know.
I'm kind of down with the 5-player co-op, though. Yeah. I was thinking I could hook it up here on the live stream and play 5-player co-op with people on the live stream.
It'd be a fun game just to dink around with, but it ain't anything to put time into. Well,
I got to be completely honest. We were kind of prepping for the show, and I think I came to the realization that, God, I'm going to get crap for this, and this might not be true, but I don't think I've played a game on my PlayStation 3 since 2009. And I might be wrong, but I think that might be true.
Yeah,
I probably use that I probably use that PlayStation 3 2 to 4 times a week for media playback or Blu-rays. But I just don't video game on it.
I use my Xbox for the media playback just because I use my Xbox more, and it's on my main TV. I don't have room for both of them.
What's nice for me is, for me the PlayStation 3 has HDMI, and I didn't.
My Xbox has HDMI.
Yeah, mine didn't. Mine didn't because I got kind of an older one. And so that HDMI lets me just hook it right up to my receiver, and that's super nice. And that all digital, when you're going HDMI all the way through and you're playing those Blu-ray movies, that's the best picture you're gonna get. And so I'm already gonna go that route if I want the best quality. And so the fact that it has pretty good media playback, and now they got a nice Netflix setup on it. The Netflix stream is pretty good on the PlayStation 3 now, and they're getting Hulu Plus, which I don't have yet, but I'm kind of kicking around. Because you can stream a ton of shows.
Yeah, if I watched a whole bunch of movies and TV and stuff, then yeah, I guess I'd have my PlayStation hooked up more, but I'm not about the PlayStation and watching movies with Xboxes and stuff. I'm just talking, from games. I haven't played, since God of War 3. That's the only game.
So that was that in 2010?
I think that was last year.
Yeah, I think so too. I can't remember. We covered it in LOTSO.
It could have been the third month. I think it came out in March, actually, this year.
Yeah.
So, I played that game. I ate it up fast. Those games were generally, not the longest. But,
Ryan, do you have a PlayStation 3?
No.
No. Not even interested?
No, I'm not so interested. I bought, I think, 3 Xboxes.
Really?
That's what I play.
Wow.
Yeah, they're a piece of junk.
Well, now,
but...
Here's what's interesting. Have you guys heard that the freaking Kinect dude is selling like crazy? Their initial estimates for so far are 5 million sales.
Nice.
They expect, retailers are saying that they expect the Kinect to sell like crazy for the holidays. They're saying that some of the early selling trends are reflective of the early trends of the Wii.
Oh, I hope so. I'm tired of the Wii dominating with its lackluster games.
Now, both you guys have spent some time with the Kinect, and neither one of you were on our Kinect review episode. Just do you want any quick thoughts on the Kinect?
I'm waiting for the, because they say the hardware is pretty fancy, but the software that they're making for it, it's all up to them to how good the Kinect actually works.
Yeah, sure.
And it's fun, but it's all cheese dick kind of stuff right now. So.
Yeah,
everything I played looked like it could have come off the Wii or some other.
It looks slightly better than the Wii, right?
Well,
yeah,
it's HD. It wasn't ugly or anything. It looked nice, but the games themselves were exactly that.
Yeah,
they're more interactive, I guess, because you're actually jumping and stuff like that. Where the Wii is the controller. But
they're saying Microsoft might be making $750 million off this whole deal right here.
It only cost them $30,000 to make too, just to figure it out. Wasn't that the final price?
No.
To build the first one.
No.
It cost, what was it?
No, they've had people working on this thing for like 3 or 4 years.
But maybe that's just I don't know. I heard
one of their engineers alone probably makes $60-70K a year, and he's been working on it for 3 or 4 years. Maybe
it had to do with something else, but
maybe the hardware costs. I don't know. But
yeah,
I saw something coming out saying that it only cost them $75 to manufacture it.
Yeah, it's dirt cheap.
Yeah, but here's again. I don't ever really, for some reason those things always seem to come in a little cheap to me, but then you got to figure there's a lot more that goes into it than just the raw cost of the material. There's the shipping, the packaging, the research, their return on revenue costs that they have. There's the software they bundle with it.
But at the same time,
there's the shipping it, and there's the marketing.
That shit would sell without the fancy boxes that it came in.
Maybe. Microsoft is really scared right now about their image. They're really scared. And I'll give you an example. Today, we're recording this on Friday, November 19th, 2010. Microsoft opened their first retail store in Washington, and they opened it in Bellevue, Washington. Now, you guys have seen the Apple stores?
Yeah.
Well, they opened there's, Bellevue Square Mall, there's an Apple store. It's like a small, crappy one, too. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but it's way small. The Linwood one's small, but the one in the Bellevue is even smaller. Anyways, so Microsoft opened a nice big one in Bellevue Square. And they got a good crowd. They got a really good crowd, and a good thing too, because they had all the local news media was there, and Steve Ballmer was at the front, and he had a big pair of scissors, and he cut a big red ribbon, and a curtain fell down, and the store was full of people that were excited to be there and clapping, and cameras were going off. It was really good. And Microsoft really needed a good image, right? Because Microsoft's trying to be hip with Windows Phone 7 and with Xbox 360 and Kinect. They're really trying to. The holiday season this could be a big. Because see what happens is at the beginning of the year, Microsoft releases Windows 7. Then they release Office 10 mid-year. And that's this Microsoft gives these little bumps, and now they need their Christmas bump, and that's Kinect and Windows Phone 7. So they're really trying to get the hip home image right now. And you know what? You know what they did? They were so freaked out about their Bellevue opening not going well that they put in the local papers and advertisements that they said they would be giving away 2,000 tickets to Hannah Montana's concert tomorrow night in Seattle.
Really?
And then they also hired Dave Matthews to have a free live concert in the store.
Really, just to make sure it'd be full.
To make sure they get lines, and that's kind of sad.
Well, did they do that to make sure they got the place full, or did they do that to
well,
make it a
but
great
here's
big
the difference.
blowout?
Here's the difference. Apple builds a store, doesn't tell anybody they're building a store for months, and then like 2 months before they announce, oh, we're gonna have a store here. 2 weeks before that, we're gonna have a store opening here, and then the opening day of that store, they have the people are lined up around the block.
It's kind of like the.
And Microsoft wants that image.
EA, or Microsoft is like EA, and Apple's like Rockstar, where they can just put anything out at any given time, and everybody will shit their pants because it's Rockstar or it's Apple. But Microsoft is kind of it's a little more diluted.
Well, and Microsoft, sometimes feels like I think they feel like they don't get a fair rap, like they kind of deserve it. And I think they're a little. We kind of have a different perspective on it because we're here in Washington and we're around a lot of people that work with Microsoft and we see a lot of their stuff. People here kind of have a pretty big hard-on for Microsoft around here.
Well, at the same time, they had Metallica playing for the Black Ops release in a hangar somewhere. So it's the same kind of thing. They don't necessarily need to do it.
Throw the money around.
But they have the money to do it, so why not make it as big as possible?
Yeah, if you make it a big deal, it'll be a big deal.
It shows that you give a shit, that you're making it more than it needs to be.
That's good.
I don't know. For me, Apple's kind of got the
I think what it is I'm looking at it like a pessimist, and you're looking at it from what the positive.
Well, I'm looking at a pessimist, but I'm just looking at Apple with pessimist face because I don't like the way they handle themselves with like you said with the iPad macro button change.
Yeah, the mute button on the iPad gets switched from the orientation lock.
Yeah, just how they'll just do that.
Instead of just making it a setting, if
they do what you want.
If they have the ability via a software update to flip that thing's function, they could also just expose that as a setting in the general controls.
Yeah, that's what.
And they've been requested to by the beta testers, and they've just declined to do it.
And I've always just liked how Microsoft, pretty much everything's open to everybody. All this crazy stuff you can get on.
No.
Well, no, come on, dude. There's
the Xbox 360 is so.
I'm not talking about
down.
the Xbox.
What are you talking
I'm talking about just Microsoft, like Windows
Microsoft
stuff.
Compared to Apple.
What?
Just how it's like, it's Apple's less open than Microsoft is with all their stuff. People are creating way more things for Microsoft within there.
That's just because of their market. It's just as easy to distribute apps for the Apple. But I know what you're saying. They have the dominant platform that has all of the applications. If you want to run something, it runs on Windows.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not quite sure about Apple or Microsoft, I guess.
Yeah, I have reservations about it too. And we should talk about this. This is kind of interesting. A game came out, I think it was yesterday or the day before, and by now it's going to be old news by the time this episode comes out. But Rage on the iPad and the iPhone came out, and this is from id Software, and it's you get the HD version, and I got it on my internet paddle, and I got to be honest, it's near Xbox 3. It's the lower end titles of the Xbox 360 quality levels. It really honestly isn't. Would you agree? You guys looked at it.
It looked real pretty.
It looked good, right?
It looked real pretty.
Smooth too. Now it's on rails.
Yeah, you don't have any control.
No. Well, you can look a little bit when you're in combat.
Yeah, you have, what is that, like what would that be, like 120 degrees of motion.
And thereabouts,
look up and down and left and right.
Yeah,
but otherwise you're just you're like Hannibal Lecter when he's strapped up in court. You're just being wheeled around, with a machine gun.
Yeah.
And then, look, it's like playing an arcade game is what it was. It was like playing an arcade game, and it was fun, but I mean, it's not like, as far as an actual game and the meat of a game, there was no meat there. It's just waddle around and shoot at stuff like something you'd download for an Xbox, not something you'd pay $60 for.
Is there really a problem with it being on rails, though?
Well,
for it to be a complete game, I would say.
Could you imagine having to turn around with an iPad though? Having that.
Well, you're right.
It's
for
almost
an iPad game, but
yeah. I mean, just for a game, it looks fine, but
the graphics are really, you guys. I know graphics are. I thought it was fun enough, but I wish I could. And maybe when they get multitasking, I don't know how this will work, but. Excuse me. I wish I could. I don't. I get fatigued of playing the game after a while. I get bored of the rails because I want to go play and discover, and I can't. So I want to jump out and jump in, but when I jump in, when I close it and then open it again, I gotta start like from the first,
Chinatown Wars, Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah,
you showed me that on the iPod. Oh my God, you got to go through all that just to fire the game back up.
Even now that they have multitasking.
Well, no. Once they get it, it'll be great. Or once it's
Oh, they have it on the touch now though.
I'm talking about the pad.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, that will be really nice. Yeah, that's another one where I could kind of just pop out and pop back in and play it for a bit. And that'd be really sweet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I can do that now on my Android phone. I got Angry Birds on here. And when I'm done, I just close the thing. But when I want to resume my game, I just open it back up, and my Angry Birds game is right where I left it off.
It just seemed like a big mark to miss at the beginning, because if you're all about this gaming on the go stuff, then that's totally important.
Yeah.
Just being able to start what you got.
And that's where the Windows 7...
Be quick when it's loading anyways.
Yeah.
That's a big knock about the Windows 7 phone, and you guys were just asking before the show. You've got a BlackBerry, Ryan.
Yeah.
And Justin, you just got...
shitty phone.
Just regular feature phone is what they call it now.
Feature phone?
That's what they call it, yeah.
That's a good word.
Because they don't want to call it the dumb phone, because, they call the other ones the smartphones.
It'll make the dumb people think they look like phones, and they'll get.
And they didn't want to call it the special phone.
Yeah, the challenged phone.
Yeah.
Socially unacceptable phone.
But so, neither one of you are opposed to upgrading to a nicer phone, right?
Not opposed to it, no.
No, and you both are heavy Xbox Live users.
Yeah,
and that's definitely a strength on the Windows 7 phone, because you get you get achievements in Xbox Live with the games on the phone, but you also get integration with your social network in Xbox Live. You can see when your buddies are on and what they're playing. It's kind of cool.
That is kind of cool.
Though. I mean, it's nice, but that should be an app for regular phones.
No, think about this. Bullshit. Check this out. Say you're at dinner, right? No, I got a total real world example. Say you're at a nice restaurant nearby your domicile.
Okay.
And you're like, I'm just sitting here chilling. And you're like, oh, I wonder if Alan or Justin are playing something on Xbox right now. And you could just open up your phone. Oh, yeah, check that out. They're playing this. And then you go, all right, I'm going to go home and join them.
Well, shit, you could do that just as easily as a text message.
Well, yeah, how many times have you ever cared that much?
I'm not positive, but I think if you can't now, they'll eventually add it. I think you could message them in the Xbox game. How about that?
That's kind of cool, but this sounds like a phone for 14-year-olds. That's all a bunch of bullshit. If I want to know if they're on the phone, I don't need to know if they're playing a game while I'm at the restaurant. I'll wait till I get home and turn on the Xbox. Sounds like it's something. If it was a feature on a phone that was completely separate from, I wouldn't use it as a selling point. It's cool. It's like a nice little trick because they're both Microsoft things. I think that's cool, but I wouldn't go jump out and buy it if that's the only thing they're really pushing.
Okay, no, they're not.
I'm just like a big.
I was just kind of pushing that angle with you since you guys do use Xbox Live quite a bit.
I don't know. I wouldn't be so concerned with that.
Okay, now they got like Netflix apps.
That's kind of cool.
They're probably going to have pretty good games. They kind of have long launch times and crap like that right now. No multitasking. But, as far as the games catalog goes, the iPhone and the iPad are crushing it as far as the exclusives go and the good game titles.
The things that I kind of like about phones, too, is it's like being able to control your DVR with it. That kind of stuff I really like. And if you could, let's say... if you were hardcore into games and you're at work and you just heard that some game came out on the arcade, if you could download it with your phone onto your Xbox, you can say, hey, Xbox, wake up and download Death Spank.
Yeah, if it's going to be a long download or something like that.
Yeah, especially when this games on demand shit starts hitting hard because, it's like, oh, sweet, Assassin's Creed's out.
So you almost want like control over your Xbox via the phone.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
That would be cool.
That would be really sweet because, if you could be on the go and purchase Xbox Live game titles and then your Xbox 360 turned on and started downloading them.
Well, yeah, especially as they get to the bigger files, we're going to be downloading whole games. They're doing some of that now too. Actually, where the downloads are pretty big.
Yeah.
So if it's going to be an hour and a half, click the button, let it run.
Yeah, I guess the thing about it is that if that is a possibility, it's not there now. And what do you want right now? Do you want to play like some of the best games that are out there right now, or do you want to kind of get in on that platform, and then see if it goes, see where it goes?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just not. I don't think my phone has to be connected to my video games.
All right, cool.
Plus, I don't like to game so much with my phone anyways, because I guess it's a BlackBerry, so it's not really made for games.
Well,
it's got a tiny little
you gotta
screen
think
anyways.
if you got like a better phone.
Well, even if I did, I wouldn't
mean
want
to
to
hate.
stare at the tiny little screen all day long. It hurts my head. So I don't use my phone for games. It's kind of a, I'm not sold on that. On my phone to be a phone, I want to do lots of other awesome stuff. But
now, do you want to hate on Call of Duty Black Ops a little bit? Because I know this is the big game that everybody's been talking about this week, and neither one of us played it. You know, it's selling like crazy, right? You know, it's selling like $680 million.
Of course,
something?
all the people were lined up down the street to have it. I know
It's
people
gonna hit
who
like
took
$1 billion
days off work to make sure they have it. And I'm not going to talk shit about the game itself. I still just continue to talk shit about the entire genre. First-person shooters are boring.
Whoa,
and
you're throwing
dead.
down big time,
I
dude.
know. I'm gonna get murdered. I'm sure. I'll get shot out in the street by some first-person shooter fanatic.
People are gonna find you on Xbox Live, dude. And they're gonna wreck your games.
Well,
now.
I mean, the games just remind me of the exact same game I played on GoldenEye on Nintendo 64. I mean, I haven't seen. Every game has its own different thing they add to it, or they advance in this way or that way. But I swear it's the same game GoldenEye I was playing 10 years ago.
Let me throw this at you. Do you ever eat microwave dinners?
Microwave pizza, I guess. Yeah.
Okay. Like I always have like Marie Callender's Alfredo microwave meal in my freezer. I've been dude, their pot pie, their mushroom cream pot pie.
Yeah.
I always like try to have one of those. Real bad for you, real bad.
Yeah.
But man,
keep you
I've been eating those things for like 15 years, and the thing about it is sometimes that's what I want.
Well, that's fine, but
And could you make that case for Madden?
well, to say that
Isn't it
Madden
that?
God, yes, exactly. I do make that case for Madden. I absolutely do.
But don't you buy Madden?
And I'm not saying the first-person shooters are bad. I'm just saying that after playing them for 15 years, I'm done with them. Is what I'm saying. That's why I'm not excited for this one.
I gotta be honest. That's where I'm at too.
You know,
I was just playing devil's
that's
advocate.
A lot of people are.
I'm
You
not
play
buying
those-
them.
I mean,
I haven't bought
They're
the
good
last two
games.
Call of Duties, and I had bought every single Call of Duty since the very first, and I bought multiple copies.
I played
long
Modern
time.
Warfare 2. I think was the last one I bought, and it was fun. I played the shit out of it, and I played online a whole
I
bunch
struggled
of stuff
with
like
it,
that.
man. I've struggled with the decision if I should buy it or not, but
I hadn't played another game for years before that one, a first-person shooter. So it was time for me to come back and be able to enjoy one. But after playing the same game for 12 years, I'm not so excited about another one coming out.
Well, what do you think of
exactly
Halo
like it again.
Reach?
I didn't even play it. I don't play any of those games.
Oh no, Halo Reach was good.
Was
right?
it?
Halo Reach was good. But I fell off. I was totally thinking it was the greatest game ever. I was having a blast because
Yeah, I haven't touched it again.
I was hanging in there with people online. I felt good.
That was good. Yeah. No, that when that was clicking, that was good. That was some of the finest online gameplay I'd had in a while.
Me too. And then it came out in a weird month. It came out in September.
Right.
And so there was nothing going on.
Yeah, it had a good period to fill.
Yeah, so I jumped right in it, and I loved it, and I got to finish it one day, but every time I go back to it, it's just like, dude, this is the same thing.
Now, let's move on before we hate on anything too much. Do we have anything positive to talk about? You guys did like Kinect. Kinect, pretty positive response.
Yeah,
I
I'm
think it's a
excited
cool
for the
technology.
future of Kinect.
Exactly.
I
think
want
it's
them
gonna
to
be
turn up the
awesome.
precision.
It's up to the developers.
I know.
It's all up to them.
I know, and I want to see that because I think everything that we've gotten so far is dull. As far as
little
being
kid
super
stuff.
forgiving. Yeah, it's super forgiving. But I think they're going for, again, the holiday. That's the family purchase.
And that's fine.
was
But they're
thinking
not
about
going to get a bunch of new gamers to run out there like me who already has the box and spend another $150 on it right now. Trying to something cool to buy for it.
Before we totally jump away from consoles, I wanted to follow up with a Diablo 3 story here.
Ooh.
But I wanted to ask you right before we jump into that is regarding Kinect. What if you're playing like say Halo Reach and both of you have a controller, okay? And it's only one screen. It's not split screen. And the way you hand off to the other player is like a hand motion. And Kinect just senses that, and now the other player's controller is active. And it's like a tag handoff. And that's the only thing you do is you just raise your hand, tag, and now the other guy's playing.
So you're still using your controllers to play the game itself?
It's just like a super subtle way to integrate Kinect. 'Cause couldn't they totally do that?
Still use it for the interface of the console or whatever?
So are you talking about just switching players for just whatever reason?
Yeah, say you're doing Halo Reach and you don't want to do split screen, you just want to be able to share it. And you just or like you're a wrestling game or whatever, and you want to tag out. And it could even be, if it's a wrestling game or a football game, it could be people on the sidelines, and Kinect, it recognizes people, so it could send your player out.
I don't know. It just seems like...
What if it's just a super subtle thing like that?
It'd be for the sake of doing it, though. It's not like something you're dying to have them invent.
I don't know, man. I think it's kind of a natural thing, too. It's kind of a tag out.
Yeah, it is kind of a tag out, but I don't understand what... it's a cool idea. Just hand the controller. You can
just hand them the controller.
But it'd be a good way. Kinect could automatically, the game could pause and it could do a player exchange animation and things like that. What's this 360 Live?
This is an Apple app.
For what?
This is exactly what you were talking about, how you can see what your friends are doing.
Oh, on the iPhone? See, that's the thing.
So, that's fine. It's an app. That's cool. But it's not a selling point for the iPhone. You know what I mean? They go by
the iPhone really does have a freaking app for everything. It's ridiculous.
That's a cool app.
That's actually really cool. I would actually like to get that.
Is it a free app?
I doubt it.
Gosh, sure shit should be.
Well, if Microsoft was hip, they would make that for... That's a great service.
Microsoft could sell apps.
What if they made that available only to the gold members or something? Like you could download it, but you'd have to log in if you didn't have...
So if you're already a gold member, you don't have to pay for the app, but if you're like a silver member, you do have to pay for the app?
$2.
No. The app's free. The app's free, but when you log into your Xbox Live account, it only works if you're a gold.
So now they're selling the $50 gold membership instead of just pushing on the...
Because they're always trying to get people reasons to get the gold. Because right now, I'm not paying.
No,
I went back to free. I reverted back to free.
I pay for gold.
I will, but see, damn Microsoft, man, they make it so hard to manage my credit card. I just let it expire, and then I eventually just wait for the Xbox to prompt me, and I enter the
There's
new
a bunch of Microsoft bugaboos with this kind of stuff. Maybe other ones have it too. I just haven't gotten to the same stuff. But I made up a Hotmail account for when I made my profile.
Yeah.
And I forgot the password, and now there's all these stupid little contests like, put your thing in here and you can use your email address, and that's where all your Xbox shit's linked to.
Mm-hmm.
But I forgot my password and I've locked myself out of it permanently. And I can't get back in. I called India, dude, and they just said sorry.
Yeah, you got your
Xbox. I waited 40 minutes for him just to say nope. Sorry, dude. And dude, it drives me nuts that I've come really close to clearing out my own profile and just saying, fuck it. I want my email to be linked up with my,
Yeah, why shouldn't you be able to change that?
Yeah, I really want it really badly. And you can change it, you just got to know your old password.
Yeah, well, I've had probably 24 email accounts that are, they're dead because they've gone dormant, and I never have any idea.
Can I tell you a tragedy?
Yes.
So, unique nicknames are tough to come on the internet, and if you got like kind of a common one, it's tough to nail that one. Well, I was like, when I was a user of Hotmail, and I'm no longer a user of Hotmail, but when it first launched, I got in. It wasn't owned by Microsoft or anything like that. It was really, totally different site. And I got in there and I registered Topher, T-O-P-H, because Christopher, T-O-P-H-E-R at hotmail.com.
Yeah.
That's like almost impossible to get because there's so many Christophers in the world. And I kept it for years and years. And when Microsoft bought it, I kind of stopped using it a little bit. And then they started getting some serious spam issues. And I forgot the password and I can't get it. And man, I locked myself out of the account. I'm sure I've lost it now. But
yeah, man,
that is such a unique one to get. I hate that I lost it.
Now it's gone.
Now it's gone. There's some scuttlebutt going around, you guys, about Bungie and their secret little beta project. You guys hear about this? Bungie is looking for beta testers to test their new super secret project, and I'm wondering if you guys have any speculation what it might be.
That's hard one. And thinking MMO.
You're thinking MMO?
Yeah, they're kind of. If they're gonna go original like they say they want to, then that's a pretty big dive off of first person. It would be cool if they could do a first person shooter MMO.
Yeah.
I mean,
that would be interesting. Yeah, I would like that.
I'd like that a lot.
It'd be something different.
I wouldn't mind if they just took this Halo, made an open world, and had leveling up. And I'd call it good. Throw some quests in there.
Oh, Standby One. Excellent. Rikai, if you wouldn't mind throwing that in the show notes. Rikai in the chat room also mentions that 360 Live app for the iPhone is also available for Android. So a win for me. I'm going to add this to I have a little install button right now. I'll just add that to my iPhone, or my iPhone. I'll add that to my Evo right now. Sweet.
Oh, whatever.
What? Why?
You and your fucking phone.
Check it out, dude. It lets me install the app from the AppBrain website onto my phone. No kid, I'm not kidding you. It's pretty wicked. So I can browse the web for the app that I want and then push it to my phone.
That is slick, but god damn it.
Watch. So here it is. So right now on my screen.
Like your phone is the internet, and you're still going on the internet to get your apps.
So I click this install button here. Clicked. And now it says added to, and then if I zoom out, it'll say pretty quickly, well, maybe. It says at the top that it gets sent to my phone. And
that cost you $2. Don't buy it, Chris.
Well, dude, it's awesome. It's totally worth $2. I like supporting Android developers. It's kind of like a thing that I try to do. No, I really do.
You got to go buy a Microsoft app to support the fucking developers.
No, I really want to support good applications on the Android platform, so I don't hesitate to buy them. I really think that they deserve it.
Let's go buy a bunch more of them. Let's look for
some. Oh, no, I try to buy only good ones. I'm not trying to buy crap.
A bunch of good ones. I bet we can find 10 good ones right now.
I should make one.
It's rated
Justin
well.
Can make a good one right now.
No, I'm not worried about it. It's rated well.
Fives.
You know.
Over that Spank. You got Spank?
What?
You got Spank?
It's a 5-star.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You need some Spank right there.
You need some Spank.
Xbox Live client.
And check this out. Xbox Live statistics. I wonder what that's about. All right, so moving on back to this. So you guys, Bungie, would you any interest?
Always interest, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be curious. I want to see what it's going to be.
Yeah, I agree. All right. Any other news segments you want to go, or should we jump in?
No, that'll do it.
All right, guys, let's get into the LOTSO grab bag. All right, gentlemen, let's do the grab bag segment. Now, before we jump into the new Vegas follow-up, which I'm looking forward to that, I wanted to give Ryan here a chance to chat a little bit about his experiences playing Fable 3, because he's got a chance. You just tore through that, didn't you?
Yep, I just finished that one too. I played Fallout first, and then I got a chance to play Fable, and I was more excited for Fable coming out, because I love Fable 2. And after playing both of the games, I got to say that I was disappointed with Fable 3.
Really?
Yep.
Well, how can you really compare it to Vegas, which just has such a scope to it?
Well, and I thought that might have been the problem, too. Maybe that Fallout's just so much better that after playing it, right...
Is it a different category?
I think it is a different category. I think that Fable is more of like a third-person adventure type of game now that they dumbed down all the RPG type of stuff and they took out the menus. I mean, when you're in battle, instead of having the option to choose what you want to use and do different stuff, just your directional pad pops up in the bottom of the corner when it tells you it's time to use types of potions or types of spells.
It makes it too easy?
Well, it just takes out all the customization, and so you can't do what you want to do with it. It just tells you, it's time for you to use some health power, and here you go. You don't have to pay attention to it and do it yourself. It just starts flashing and tells you it's time to do it. It seems...
I never wanted to look at Fable as a game that I just wanted to burn through, because I've always liked getting into these games, but... after hearing about this, I'm not so excited to keep on going with it.
Well, the game was fun, too, and I was kind of enjoying it. I was going along playing it, and the game was fun. And like I said, it's dumbed down kind of, so I was disappointed by that because I like games that are real deep and customizable.
Me too.
I didn't it's got like a partially interactive world where there's a lot of things that look exactly the same, and some of them you can interact with and some of them you can't. And I didn't like that very much, especially after playing Fallout when everything's interactive. And then as soon as I got going in the game and I was really having fun and stuff, it was over. And that was it. I was disappointed by that part too.
So how many hours of gameplay would you say you got out of it?
I wish I had checked and I don't remember.
You don't have a rough guess?
I don't know, maybe 40, I guess, or so, not compared to the 100 and something I put into Fallout.
But again, I mean, if you're...
What's going around all over the place and doing all kinds of stuff, too. It's not like I just breezed through the game and it didn't take
40, me... 40 to 60 is not bad, in my opinion.
Going through everything, I don't know. I thought it should have been deeper than that. I mean, 40 is the high end. I don't know. I'm not sure exactly.
Wouldn't you say a lot of other games are about in that area? It's really only New Vegas that's kind of the exception.
I didn't have... so high hopes for those other games because after playing Fable 2 I put a lot of time into that game, and so going into Fable 3 I presumed it'd be the same.
Because I was like Ryan last year when he said he was more excited to play Fable 3 than Fallout New Vegas, because 2 years ago when New Vegas and Fable or not New Vegas but Fallout 3 and Fable 2 came out, I was pumped about Fable 2. I was bouncing off the walls. Then I started playing it. Then I put in Fallout, and that was it. I never went back to Fable.
Well, to hear that they already got the DLC coming out right away for Fable, it kind of disappoints me. You know, that should be part of the game. If it's already coming out 3 weeks after the game came out, they got DLC for it, then that should have been part of the game. It was already written to begin with, and they're just kind of skimping us and getting extra money on it.
Yeah, you know,
that pisses me off.
It's got to be, you know, I was thinking about the release schedule of this, because obviously New Vegas, you know, it launched, and it launched strong. And now kind of maybe some of the excitement starts to trail down a little bit as other games come out and things like that.
Yeah.
But there's still people playing it. So what perfect timing does this downloadable content just happen to be ready to be launched? It's like they must have, during the development cycle of the game, started a parallel development branch of the downloadable content at some point, just in order to reach this kind of timing. Knowing the way the corporations work and all the timing kind of works, this isn't something they just started working on after the game shipped.
Definitely not, no.
So there was this has been planned from a strategic timing standpoint, in my opinion, to maximize on people's enthusiasm for the game at the most possible moment.
And just to echo that, dude, they totally have. When you get a game from one of these highly anticipated games, when you get Halo, you look at the box and it has a sticker on it that says not to be opened before 9/26.
Yeah.
And that tells you that that game's been there for God knows how long.
Probably at least a week.
Where they're just printing copies and filling up trucks and shipping them around and stuff.
Because BioShock was the biggest guilty party of this when they sold downloadable content, and then when you downloaded it was kilobytes, and it just unlocked something on the disc, and everybody went shithouse.
Yeah, because it was already programmed into the disc. It was ready when the disc came out. It was just a scam. That's kind of what I felt. I guess, and Fallout's got DLC coming out right afterwards too, and so I could bitch about that, I guess, like I did with Fable, but but Fallout was gigantic already.
Yeah.
That game was already
You don't
huge.
feel like they shortchanged you on
I already
content.
spent 100 and something hours on it, and I didn't finish the whole thing. And there's still 4 different alternate endings that I didn't have a chance to go through because I could only finish it one way the first time through. And so the game's already gigantic enough for me to play it 2 more times over the next year and a half. And for them to have DLC coming out, that just, you know, it's almost a feat. Whereas with Fable, they should have had it already ready. It's part of the game.
It stokes the fires.
It just
totally does, dude.
It does. And I think it's good for Fallout, like you were saying, as far as strategic coming out at the right time. They get to bracket Fable this way.
Totally.
They come out on both times, and so on either end of them.
Yep.
So that's good for them.
They pick up the people like you now who finished Fable, and you know, because this is going to be out December something, I think.
A holiday, I think it's just got a holiday mark.
It's a holiday purchase, so they figure by then people are done with Fable 3. And you're ready to kind of jump back into Vegas. So, you know, that's totally, the timing's perfect. They're totally going after guys like you, Ryan.
Yep. They'll probably get me, too.
Yeah.
I bought all 5 of the downloadable contents for Fallout 3, dude.
Yeah.
So how's the, you know, a couple of weeks in, how's the New Vegas stacking up? Is it earning this level of commitment where you'll be buying all of the downloadable contents for it?
Yes.
Yeah, it's a great game.
But, you know,
complete.
I'm hearing a lot of complaints about bugs, and
it's buggy
to be honest,
hell.
You didn't say anything much about bugs in our last review.
I didn't get too many bugs, but it seems like the more you open up in the world, you know, it seems like that's a lot more for it to deal with when you're shifting from world to world.
The machine can think of.
Because I don't know if this is true, but I started a second game just to get an achievement, and I jacked my luck up to 10 so and then I just ran to the casinos. I ran to Vegas just so I can go get kicked out of the casinos because I wasn't going to get that achievement already.
Yeah.
And I wasn't going to sit there and play 2 hours of, you know, blackjack.
For nothing.
Yeah, and, dude, I ran across the wasteland. It's a pretty far run from Good Springs to Vegas, right?
yeah.
Are you doing the mode where you have to drink water and stuff, too?
I did that. I'll get to that in a second. But I ran all the way there, and it seemed like everything was empty. There wasn't the amount of shit that there was because I went to the NCR sharecropper farm.
Yeah.
And nobody was there. I passed through there. It was completely empty.
Yeah, none of the characters were there.
Nobody.
Is that a bug?
No, I don't think so. I think it's just the beginning of the game. Things aren't happening yet.
In there yet.
Yes, things aren't happening. But
so you're saying as the game progresses, those things are then therefore the game keeps growing and growing, and it has more process.
Because the longer you play Fallout, is the longer the load times become. Because it's like the longer you have the disc in the actual system is how long it happens. Because I'll play for 2 hours, and the next thing I'll know, I'm waiting a good 20 seconds for this screen to load, and it wasn't that big of a load. And then
How come you don't copy to the hard drive?
I do. I copy everything to the hard drive.
Do you notice a difference in load time?
No, but I did notice a difference from the 360 to the 360S. It handles things better.
Really, like what?
I don't. It seems
Those
like
load times
they're
and
sharper.
stuff.
Yeah.
Well, like you were saying too, after the machine had been on for a couple hours, that game would lag because
Bad.
I guess I don't know why. As the machine had been on
the
longer
S as
playing
well?
that game,
Yeah.
they just I don't know, it's too much for it to continue to handle or whatever.
And
but
now
it would
that
make
I'm
the machine lag.
Now that I restarted my playthrough, and I'm level 8 or whatever, everything's snappy and fast. But holy freezing hell!
So is that pretty frustrating? Did you lose game
freezes.
progress or anything?
This game does a pretty good job of saving whenever you go in and out of doors. But yeah, you lose chunks.
No, I had one bad thing happen with that where what was happening? It was loading the next screen. I was leaving town. I was switching areas in Vegas. I was going from one casino to the next. And it was loading right then, and it chose to freeze, and it did totally corrupt that file. But thankfully, I had a file that was like an hour back, and I was able to use that. But it did corrupt that file, so it's good to have a couple of emergency saves hiding down the list a little bit, a couple hours behind or so you don't lose everything at once.
Boy, but a couple hours is still rough.
That
would really
suck.
be defeating for me. I mean, honestly, that would probably make me quit
If you were
playing.
75 hours in already, though,
Oh, no.
well, you
no.
have to keep going.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. You have to keep going. You're pissed off.
But if I'm like 10, 15 hours in and that happens
Yeah.
and I lose 2 hours, I'm probably done.
Yeah, I can get pissed off about stuff like that. But it didn't happen back then. The game runs smooth at the beginning.
That's
It's just
clever.
more towards the end.
That's
Well, you got to wonder if they said, well,
if
Worst
it's gonna.
case, if it's going to freeze, have it freeze late into it.
they said, as this grows, it's going to do this, and they're going to, and the further they get, the more it's going to lock up. And they're like, yeah, but it's the further they're going to be.
And
they're
their
gonna be more
excuse,
committed.
their total excuse, Bethesda, who is Obsidian. Obsidian's excuse was it's just too damn big.
What are you going to do?
And it is big. It is ridiculously big, but I had a blast. And I just think it's because I like that kind of game, but with all the weapon mods type of things happening, they added a lot. And like you said about the hardcore mode, I only did it for the achievement. And as soon as I got the achievement, dude, I turned it off.
Really, it just got obnoxious?
Yeah.
Tedious, I'm sure.
Did you
I
play
didn't even
hardcore
do
then?
it. No, I didn't do that. I like my games to be fun. I
Yeah,
don't want them to be so
that's
hard that they're a
generally how
pain
I
in
do
the
it.
ass.
This is the
I just
only
wanna have fun
game-
to play them.
I agree.
I've said this a million times, but this is the only game I care about getting all 1,000 achievement points on.
You said that about GTA also.
Yeah, but then they came out with those multiplayer ones, and I can talk about that, but that's wrong to talk
I'm
about.
just saying.
They're ridiculous.
So how you doing on that quest?
Really good. I only got about 7 more achievements to go, and they're all quests.
You got to beat the. You
only have 7 more to all of them?
through the different guys though to get those.
Yeah, I'm
You
not
gotta,
gonna play the game 3
beat
more
House
times.
7. You got to beat. I don't even know what the other ones are. I've only played it
Well,
through
that's
House's
pretty
missions.
hardcore. You really put some effort into that.
I love this game.
What are your hours at?
Combined between the 2 playthroughs,
Yeah.
3 playthroughs, I guess like $140.
$140. I
Are
figured
you
it'd be
kidding
something
me?
nasty like
That's
that. I'm not
awesome.
surprised in the slightest.
No.
He'll be pushing 200 by the end of the second playthrough. At least.
I bet Microsoft could somehow calculate an impactable cost you guys have made on their data center.
Yeah, and I'm sure the Kinect's watching me do it.
Yeah.
Now,
That guy likes Doritos.
I don't want to
They turn
segue.
Fallout into an MMO type of world or something
They
like that.
are.
Play that into an MMO because if it's a game we can put 100 hours into on just that sealed world, because the game itself
know.
already expanses over several parts of a
now
destroyed world,
that
so it
would
could
get
go
that would
for
get my interest.
eternity.
Dude, I'm
You could-
signed up for the
You could
Fallout
run the
beta.
Wasteland forever.
I signed up for my first beta.
Persistent
Did ya?
Fallout world could be really interesting.
Well, I mean, if they made it so it was far-reaching, you could keep going.
Yeah.
Like if you could walk for real from Nevada to
I don't see it
Arizona?
happening on a console, to be honest with you.
not on a console. No, it'd have to be like.
I'd take another
computer
disc,
game.
I'd take a double disc.
Yeah, like
You
Forza
know,
did,
one
where you had
disc
to
for
download
content
disc
and the
then
other
a-
disc for playing.
That'd be fine
No,
with me.
it's going to be a PC title if they do that.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be an MMO. Hell yeah.
Well, yeah,
But
do
that would
the
be-
you
whole
think so?
thing. Do the whole thing. Do the whole like World of Warcraft type thing.
Yeah,
Make
yeah,
it a
exactly.
Fallout.
You know-
That would be our first-person MMO.
You know, what'd be kind of cool is I guess not every state has a big much impact on the world as far as like Vegas and DC, New York.
Yeah.
But if they started releasing the states,
Oh, I know,
and
right?
so you could once you cross over, Arizona, you can go into Mexico.
how
'cause
would
they
you
can do
not
it
want to run
forever.
around in Seattle?
Yeah,
I've always said
a
that.
ruined, destroyed version 300 years later to Seattle
it would
with vaults
be-
built into it.
It would be. I mean, people don't give Seattle enough credit. It's got some the Experience Music Project building in the Science Fiction Museum and the Space
that stuff
Needle.
wouldn't exist. Well,
Underground
no, it
Seattle,
you're right? Because it happens in the future, actually. So you're right. All that crap would be there, and
they could be all destroyed. Space Needle could be all messed up,
and
then you have the
stuff too.
You have the underground Seattle area.
Oh, they could still be there. All full of zombies. All full of zombies.
And Seattle's got districts, dude.
Yeah.
Rad slugs. Rad slugs.
And you got the docks, and so I mean,
it'd be cool.
You could really.
Clerks.
And actually, there's a really awesome, if they really knew their Seattle. I just learned about this a little while, but there's this really massive underground water heating system. Like one central building pumps hot water to like all these.
I've heard that steam plant thing or something like that, right?
Yeah, and
that's
pumps.
Where that comes out of the grates or whatever.
Yeah, that's what's coming out, and it pumps it to like a ton of buildings on downtown Seattle.
It's old school.
It's super old school.
It's like a radiant heating with water
for the whole city. Yeah, it is. It's a massive
like
one.
A bunch of buildings.
And you could make that. That is perfect for because you could exaggerate. Who knows? Maybe those conduits are huge. It's a ton of water.
What
That'd
would
be
Microsoft
awesome.
grow into? They got the whole Redmond plant or whatever that is.
Zombified Microsoft
running around
campus.
through there with their whole
Robco, dude.
Robco, exactly. It would fit right into their whole theme or whatever. It'd be perfect. And they could do it for all kinds of places.
Because the guy in the
Army
game...
bases. We got the Army bases. We got the nuclear submarine bases out here and stuff.
That's right. We do have the sub bases. Oh,
nothing but fun.
And it's dreary as hell out here.
Dreary. Yeah. Burn nuclear
and a ton
forest.
of woods, too. They really should do it.
It'd be fun.
Chris, you just sold...
Fallout in the woods, but in their style, in that...
Yeah.
Whatever it would look like would just be awesome.
Yeah, what do they call that style, Justin?
Steampunk.
Oh, the steampunk.
Steampunk.
Yeah,
Chris
like
knows more about
cars.
steampunk than I do.
I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't know what it was until you told me.
So, all right.
Cool 50s vibe with cool guns.
Now, tell me more about New Vegas. What else you guys got for me?
It's really deep. I love the way that you can end it different ways.
Oh, okay, yeah. I actually did not know that until you mentioned it earlier.
No, I love that kind of stuff. It's great. And it's not just that you can end it different ways, but it's actual different storylines you can follow towards
I noticed,
the end.
like, Justin mentioned he got kicked out of the casino.
For winning too much money.
Now, when Jeremy played, Jeremy ran the casinos.
Shit, don't tell me anything.
Well, there's all kinds of stuff. That's the point. That's a different.
No, I'm just joking. I'm just joking. It's cool.
Oh, dude, you really made me bummed.
Even in the storyline I followed, there was 2 or 3 ways I could have finished it off. So you can play the game a bunch of times, and it'll end different every time.
That seems like crazy.
Because it seems like work for the Overlord, work for an up-and-comer type of person, or work for yourself.
Or work for the devil.
Or work for NCR, the government.
Well, and there's the Legion, too.
Oh my god.
So there's like 5 different directions you can go. And then there's also, because you can, if you kill Benny, you can work for the fucking robot and the robot will work for you. So you can do all kinds of
That's like working for
shit.
yourself, you know?
Oh, that's, all right. So that's working for yourself.
That's probably how Jeremy got the casinos, by having that dude.
You know, you can,
yeah, he had a dude.
Yeah.
Dude.
There was a dude.
Dude, and they do this cool thing too. It's these big giant robots that run on one wheel and they just kind of putz around. Securitrons. And, dude, it's the first guy that saves you. When you talk to him, he's just a cowboy face with a cigarette hanging out of his mouth, winking. And he's just got this total, like, twangy country voice.
His face doesn't move. It's like a...
Yeah, it's just a still picture in a TV.
In the chest of a robot. That's what this guy is. That's his character, but he talks like a cowboy.
Okay.
Yeah, and then the Mr. House guy, all that I've gotten to see of him is just him on a still picture of him on a computer screen. And it's that cool kind of thin man look with the mustache and the slick hair and the suit. I mean, it's wild. Okay, so you go diving into this vault for a mission, and you go running around, then you find some dead people, then it says, oh, you picked up a note from this dead guy. And so you read the note, and it says... it just has this whole entire story that's not a quest at all. It doesn't prompt you to do anything. But if you read the note and you keep on looking around, you'll find this weird little story that happened. Like there's this one vault that sacrifices people. You gotta sacrifice somebody to this vault.
Yeah, when they get in the vault, because when the apocalypse happens, they lock themselves in the vault. And it says you got to sacrifice somebody once every
year or something.
Whatever it is.
And it's pretty much like there's all these different leagues trying to like vote this guy in, vote that guy in.
Yeah, because the leader, they vote somebody to be their leader, and then the leader gets killed at the end of the year.
Yeah, dude, and you go into this room, and it's just like, think of Just because you're dying doesn't mean you're not doing anything. And it says you're just as important as the president or this.
You're
or
getting
that.
Sacrificed?
Well, yeah, because you can go into the computer and start it yourself.
Yeah, you go down in the room.
Yeah, and then you're just sitting there kicking it, and you watch this video. A little projector is just a room with like some wine, some cigarettes, and
this is just crazy bonus content. Basically.
Yeah, it's just like random crap.
Nothing at all, and it has nothing to do with shit, dude. And you just go and sit down in the chair and you watch the video. Then it's just talking about how it's just that 50s crazy like kind of projector noise.
Projector.
And you're just watching these still pictures of what they're talking about, and it's the Vault Boy kind of cartoon drawings. And
I never quite understood if it's in the future, why is it 50s though?
That's the whole
thing.
It's
what the guy explained it as. One of the designers says it's they're trying to make a game of what they thought the future would be in the 1950s. That's the kind of future they're trying to make, is what they envisioned it 60 years ago. That's the kind of game.
So you see pictures from their.
So it's based in an imaginary world.
Oh well,
yeah.
Well, yeah.
Post-apocalyptic world in 2033, but it's kind of like if the 1950s version of the future had happened for real.
Yeah.
And then the apocalypse happened.
So all those floating cars and like
that.
robots.
That's what it is.
It's kind of BioShocky too.
Dude, it is exactly that type of style. Exactly that.
Yeah.
That's exactly it.
Steampunk kind of.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
But dude, well, back to what Justin was saying though, because the whole point of that thing is you find out at the end of that whole thing, you spend a couple hours figuring this out, looking through this vault. You end up finding out that they were supposed to say no to the robots, and it says, congratulations, you made the appropriate choice or whatever. But instead, these people spent 100 years in a vault sacrificing somebody every year because they were too afraid to say no to the robots. And that was the real twist of it. And that's not even part of a story. That's just 3 hours you spent in a vault doing something. And it was worth doing.
Just farting around.
But totally, like, a twisted message at the end of it.
Yeah, it's totally twisted.
Like, oh, you didn't stand up to the robot overlord? You've been killing people for 100 years?
Oh, my God.
And then all the people at the end of it end up killing themselves.
3 hours, though. What was 3 hours?
Well, maybe not 3 hours, but, I mean, you spent all this time in this vault.
Vaults are
through
big,
everything.
dude.
What's in there?
A bunch of dead people,
it's
usually.
Supposed to be like a bomb shelter.
So, would you just walk around and look at stuff?
No, there's all kinds of like zombies usually living in there. There's
ghouls.
People give you reasons to go in there. We need to get some new power coupling and stuff.
Okay.
You can only find it in Vault 23, so they send you to Vault 23 and you got to fight a bajillion zombies, and it's got radiation here.
Gotcha.
All kinds of crap.
So you got reasons to go to. Okay, so
There's
you do kind of
get
reward. You get a mission, and this extra bonus story is kind of the reward.
There's just like crap going on around you that can take up more time than the mission.
Do you get
itself.
loot and stuff?
Yeah, tons of loot.
Nothing but loot. Every single thing in the world.
Well, so it's totally worth doing then.
Yeah, every cup on the table you can pick up. That beer bottle, you can pick up empty beer bottles.
Wow.
Yeah, you can pick up anything in the world.
So what you're saying is it doesn't do anything for the story, but you do get something for your character.
Well, sometimes.
Well,
some of the stories do lead towards
loot.
like special weapons and stuff like that, depending on if you follow them and stuff. But we didn't get loot for doing that particular mission.
Oh.
That's just some random crap that happened.
Well, you go in there, and after you kill everybody, it opens up, these walls fly up, and all these robots.
Oh yeah.
They
get
just
attacked.
Yeah, that's how the people die. Is about 7 robots pop out of the walls and just start shooting the shit out of
With
them.
machine guns and missiles. Yeah.
And then after you kill all them, and then you go look around, they got like a little armor chest where you can get. It's nothing special armor.
So there was some crap down there, I guess.
Yeah, but you can use it to repair your other stuff.
But the whole game is nothing but stuff you get. You get stuff so you can go sell it, so you can buy stuff that you want. I mean, all kinds of bartering and that type of stuff as well.
Oh, that's cool. So some of the stuff you got down there, you can sell?
Oh, yeah. But the majority of the stuff you pick up is for the sake of selling. Because you got 5 or 6 guns you really like using, and you go kill 20 guys, you pick up all 20 of their guns, take them to the store and sell them off, or use them to repair your own guns.
I just don't think I'm the person for this game, because
it's too big.
Deep. Like I said, I could play it again for another 100 hours, and there'd still be stuff I hadn't seen.
Because I remember Chris was saying that it stresses him out when he has to choose, and when he's put up against a wall, it gets your brain going.
I got stressed out. I had to go back. I gave up an hour of play because I made a decision during one of the Ys where I made a decision, and then I was not happy with it afterwards. It wasn't the direction I wanted to go. And I ended up going to an older save that was almost an hour back and said, screw, I don't care what I just did, and went back and changed my decision because...
Was it worth it?
I guess I don't really know because I never finished playing it out the other way, but... I was happy.
Would you ever be tempted to go just to redo that one thing?
Well,
not really.
Well, no, I will because that would play into going down a different route. towards the ending.
Right.
So if I were to play the game again and try to go down that route, then I would do that same thing again. But I already had kind of an intention on, because the routes kind of become clear. It's not like there's these big veiled ways the game could end.
Okay.
I mean, you don't know what the end result's going to be.
That would be my concern, is it's kind of like nebulous.
It's not, I guess I don't know nebulous, but it's not so veiled. I mean, it's like, all right, well, you can help this guy out, or you can help that guy out, or you can kill this guy, or you can help him. I mean, that's pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
And most of the choices are like that, where you do it this way or you do it that way, and that points you in the direction. And I just chose the wrong decision one time, and I was freaking out about it. I had to go back.
Did you ever have that, Justin?
Yeah.
Yeah, you did that?
Yeah, totally. This game, well, again, you put in that much time into a game, and to think you're going to throw away the last 50 hours? Hell no. I'm going to make the right decision.
I agree with you on that.
That's nuts.
It is an investment, but if I ever had like if I ever took a sabbatical or something, I think it's something I might have on my to-do list.
Fuck cruises. Play games for a week.
Yeah.
Maybe get the Windows Phone. Maybe you can play it on your Windows Phone or some shit like that.
I don't think I'm gonna get a Windows Phone.
Yeah, pussy.
What? Why?
Well, because how are you going to check out all your girlfriends on your phone and what they're doing when you're at work?
Are you talking about an Xbox Live?
Yeah.
Well, I got the app on my Android.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I just wanted to get one more Android.
My girlfriends.
Here real quick.
My girlfriends. Like you guys and the people on the live stream.
Exactly. That's exactly them.
Any more thoughts on New Vegas, gentlemen?
Game's awesome. Everybody should play it.
Yeah, it's worth the pain.
Despite the bugs. Do you think
I didn't have any bugs happen to me.
Really?
Dude, I had
didn't
the
have any happen
creepiest
to
bug
me.
happen to me. I picked up some weird weapon, and I don't know what it was, and then I looked at my hand, and my fingers were long.
Oh, I've had that happen.
And it scared the hell out of me.
Is this on your S?
What?
This is on your S, right? My Xbox 360, before it red ringed, it started, all of the models started, the tips of them started elongating and stretching out. So like fingers would be like these long spiky things, and ears would be super long. And every game started doing that right before my 360 died.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was a little trippy to watch.
Yeah.
And the longer I played, the longer they'd get and stuff
Big
like
giant
that.
elf ears on everybody.
Yeah. And then I got a Star Trek game, and the ships had all these weird elements on them, and it was pretty crazy.
Yeah, that's nice.
All right, well, that's pretty good. We got a Fable 3 kind of recap and review there. Not so much of a thumbs up, more like a thumb sideways.
Yeah, the game was nice. It was really pretty. Everything that I did was actually fun.
I think you might be hard on I think maybe if it hadn't landed around New Vegas.
Well, I think that might have been it. And again, I had hopes from Fallout 2 or Fable 2 that I was dragging into this one, whereas if it was a freestanding game, it would have been fun, not really worth the $60. But coming off of Fable 2 and my high expectations of it, I was disappointed.
Yeah.
And then to know that the DLC was so close behind it and it wasn't part of the game, I was
Stings
like,
a
what the
little
heck? I thought there should have been more meat to the game itself, more
Meat.
side crap.
Justin, what do you think about New Vegas? Definitely recommend on your end, right?
Yeah, it's worth the bugs.
Yeah?
Yeah, they're coming out with patches. It's gonna get better. It ain't gonna be perfect, but it will be better.
Well, interesting. All right, everyone. Well, there's a few ways you could give us your feedback, and I'd actually like to know your thoughts on New Vegas and Fable 3, and what your thoughts are on the bugs. I personally kind of hate it on the consoles. I feel like the console should be a pretty smooth experience. I feel like every now and then that sloppy experience, when you're charging me a $60 premium, no. So you can charge me $50 and have a few bucks. Come on, but $60, that's a premium because you're now a luxury item. That's my opinion, but I'd be curious to know what the audience thinks. So leave a comment wherever you're watching this, or you can email us, LOTSO@JupiterBroadcasting.com, or head over to JupiterColony.com and shout out there in the Jupiter Colony LOTSO thread. Yeah? All right, everyone. Well, LOTSO comes out every other Friday, but it's kind of a neat system the way it works. One Friday we're live. The next Friday we release an episode. So either way, there's some LOTSO happening over at Jupiter Broadcasting on Fridays. Yeah?
Nice. I never thought about that.
Nice. Hey, man. Thanks for filling in for Alan.
Yep, not a problem.
I think he's going to be back next episode. If that's assuming he doesn't make it huge and buy like Las Vegas while he's down there or something.
Yeah.
He might move in with a few hotels or something.
You better send us some plane tickets in.
Yeah, maybe we'll do the next episode from Las Vegas.
Sounds good.
All right, everyone. Thanks so much for tuning to this episode of LOTSO, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Thanks for listening to Legend of the Stoned Owl. Legend of the Stoned Owl is produced over at JupiterBroadcasting.com. That's where you can find the show, subscribe, all those good things, leave us feedback, and also where you'll find us every 2 weeks. Thanks for listening to this episode. We'll see you in a fortnight.
I remember we had the dock showed it 3K and you put that in the dock. Oh man, that's so funny. Oh man.
Nice.
What happened?
All right.
He answered you.
Nice.
Cut that out,
Nice.
Alan. Cut that out.
Yeah, more work for Alan. That's what you get for going on vacation, bitch.
All right, so here we go. In 3, 2. Sorry, everybody, if he doesn't cut that out, I apologize.